Hi, I'm Mai Pham of Lemongrass Restaurant in Sacramento, and I'm really excited about being here and sharing with you and telling you all about the wonderful flavors of Vietnamese and Thai cooking. I grew up in a family in which food was really the center of the universe. The dining table was the center of the universe. Our kitchen was always filled with wonderful aromas, wonderful ingredients. My mother always had a mortar and pestle, which is really the quintessential tool in the Vietnamese kitchen. You put your garlic in there, you put your chilies in there, ingredients that you are familiar with. But maybe you don't know that if you pound it in a mortar and pestle, it has a much more intense flavor. So those are some of the things that we're hoping to share with you. We use wonderful spices, hard spices in our cooking. We use these spices in, for example, pho noodle soup, which is the Vietnamese noodle soup, which is a wonderful meal in a bowl where chicken bones are slowly simmered with roasted ginger and roasted onions, and then we put a bag of these wonderful spices, which we first of all dry roast them a little bit, and then we add it to the broth. But it's cooked with very gentle fire. And what's so amazing, and this is one of the hallmarks of our cuisine, you see here we have wonderful herbs. We use the herbs in that noodle soup that I was just talking about, but we use it almost everywhere. And so the cuisine is really lovely. Instead of cutting everything in chiffonade, small pieces, we would eat, a plateful, cupfuls of fresh herbs. We would put a whole cup of basil leaves, right, just whole leaves, into a stir fry, for example, and you get this really wonderful flavor from herbs that are very, very special and very different. We'll be doing lots of different recipes and really focusing on some of the nuances of the cuisine that maybe you're not familiar with. For example, a lot of people do not know, when you go buy cilantro in the grocery store, most people just use the leaves, right? But really, in our cooking, the most intense flavors comes from the stems. Okay, and also we don't have it here, but if you're able to go to the farmer's market and get cilantro with the roots on, it is the stems and the roots that are the most flavorful part of the cilantro. So imagine if you love cilantro and have always had it with the tops, you haven't really discovered cilantro because the flavors come from the stems. We do lots of wonderful things through our food. In a stir fry, for example, and in the videos that you'll see, we'll show you how to make a really wonderful Thai-style noodle stir fry. Do it in a way that the noodles are really nice and fluffy, and all the wonderful flavors are actually preserved. And these are some of the techniques that we'll be sharing with you. For example, we'll cover how to take a pan, get it to be really smoking hot, but not so hot that you can't respond quickly enough. We're going to add shallots and onions, and then we're going to put the noodles in. Noodles, we'll do a lot of noodle dishes. And noodles are not all created equal. They're all different. You only use certain noodles for certain dishes. One of the most appealing things about the cuisines of Southeast Asia in general, and in Vietnamese and Thai cooking in particular, I think, is really the freshness of the ingredients. You can actually see all the ingredients. Nothing is really simmered very slowly. We don't have 100 spices in a pot that you simmer slowly, and after a while it's wonderful, but you don't really know it's in there. Our food is very visual. It's quite simple. It's just the way the flavors and the ingredients are combined, but more importantly, how they're layered. In the goi gun, for example, the salad roll dish that we have, when you bite into a roll, you notice that there's a chewy wrapper on the outside. There's some crunchy bean sprouts and lettuce and some wonderful mint and some sweetness of the shrimp. And so our food is very clean. It can be very healthy. Sauces are all on the side. All of our dipping sauces are not, has no oil. And so I think that the food is really wonderful, and it's very natural. So you can take it either way. You can promote the food as being local, as being healthy, as being delicious. It's all of that and more.